Indigenous. Rooted. Thank you. So we are going to be discovering our final meaning for our word. But first we want to visit our what, why square. What are we doing and why are we doing it today? So our learning targets. We have what are we doing and why it is important. We talked about this yesterday when we were going over our land acknowledgement. Today, the targets that we're going to be focused on is I can explain the importance of a land acknowledgement. We have some prior knowledge with that. And our second is I can explain how environment influences a lifestyle. So what I'm going to have you do is I want you to think, what do these learning objectives mean to you? Based on what we've talked about, based on your understanding of these things, what do these learning objectives mean to you? I want you to heads together and have a little moment to share what these mean to you. So have some think time, and then when you're ready, go ahead, pockets up, heads together. I like how I'm seeing pockets up in some of the groups, really showing that you are actively collaborating. Remember, when you are done with your collaborative session, please feel free to put those pockets in the seat. Great things were shared about how we're connecting these. Go ahead and wrap up those conversations. I really like how the Lutes are showing me that they are ready to move on. Nice job. Indigenous. Right? Rooted. Indigenous. Nice job. So when we connect our learning objectives with what they mean to us, we have that deeper understanding. So now we know what we're doing. My next question for you is, why is it important for us to think about the significance of a land acknowledgement and how the land and environment can influence a culture? So we're connecting those two learning objectives today and thinking about why that might be an important thing for us to explore. So we're going to have just a little quiet think time right now about why that might be important to explore. When you have some ideas, go ahead and give me a thumbs up to let me know that you've formed some ideas around that. Good job. Understanding why it's important for us to think about the significance of land acknowledgement. We learned about the land acknowledgement. Does anybody remember the source we used for that general land acknowledgement? Does anybody remember that from yesterday? Ooh. Isla? We looked at the CCD for our word, but remember we cited a source for that general land acknowledgement. Oh, I see some people connecting with their neural pathways. Molly?
I'm pretty sure it's some sort of museum.
Correct. It was a museum. Does that spark anyone else?
I just don't know the name of it. I think it's called.
Would you like to phone a friend? Is there someone who might be able to support you with that, do you think? Remember, Lindsay, we're giving crumbs. We're not handing the whole loaf, though, right? Can I give you a little crumb? It was a museum of what focus? What was the focus of the museum? What? We got the land acknowledgement, but it was a land acknowledgement about what group of people? Boy, there are a whole lot of people here who might want to support you. Molly's only going to be calling on people who are quietly sitting, non-verbally communicating with her, that they have some crumbs to share with her.
Oh, native like.
Right? It was the National Museum. It was the Smithsonian's Institute National Museum of American Indians. So that was the source that we used for the general land acknowledgement that we had last year. And that was for our indigenous people from all of the Americas. And so the importance of understanding that land acknowledgement significance is going to propel our exploration today. All right, so here is our why. And this is from the learning we did yesterday. Land acknowledgements are an important way to honor indigenous peoples as the stewards of the land which was colonized by another group of people, and honor that they are still a vital part of the environment which is significant to their rich culture. Does anybody connect with part of what we learned yesterday about the land acknowledgements?
No, I was going to say that.
Yeah. So today, we are going to be focusing again on land acknowledgements. And this was our quote. Our cited source is the Smithsonian's Institute National Museum of American Indians. Take a moment and read that. That's the quote we had yesterday from that source regarding the importance of land acknowledgements. Thank you, Bogdan, for letting me know that you're all the way through. Thank you, Stevie. Thank you, Isla. Thank you, Yadira. Thank you, Avery. Thank you, Gunnar. All right. So today, we looked at the general land acknowledgement from this source for our indigenous peoples in the Americas region. Remember, we talked about that going all the way from north in Alaska and Canada, all the way through to the tip of South America. Those would be considered our Americas. Today, our focus is going to be more local. Our focus is going to be specific to the peoples, the indigenous peoples who are still here as vital members of our society and have a rich cultural diversity within their own community. And it's the Puyallup tribe of Indians. You'll notice that our city name is also Puyallup. Our district is also Puyallup. So part of the importance of land acknowledgement, especially for us, connects with the land on which this school resides and on which many of your homes probably reside. Yes, Kellen?
We're on South Hill.
We are on South Hill. You're correct. And it is part of Puyallup. The range of land, the environment in which these people inhabited in the past as indigenous people and still are a vital part of, is a great area of land that includes this land as well. The Puyallup School District recognizes that our district shares the name of the original inhabitants of the land we are located on. The Puyallup tribe is known as Spuquallups. I'm trying on that one. That one's a new one for me, right? We sometimes explore new languages. That one's a little hard. Does everyone want to try it? Spuquallups. Yeah. Sometimes those other languages are a little bit challenging on our tongue, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It's because this is another language. It says in their ancestral language, Lushootseed, that's how it's called, Spuquallups. People from the bend at the bottom of the river. Now, I'm not an expert on this language, but we are going to get a primary source language spoken to us by members of this group of indigenous people. The district is located on the Puyallup Reservation and on the traditional homelands of the Puyallup people, a sovereign nation that operates under the Medicine Creek Treaty. The following land acknowledgement recognizes the land and people who have and continue to live and steward it. So we are going to actually be watching members from the Lushootseed language do their land acknowledgement. Listen carefully, because this language is a language that's still being practiced, and it is a language that may seem unfamiliar to us. But just because something is unfamiliar to us does not mean that it is any less valid than our experiences. So let's listen with curiosity to this new language to us.
It is the land right here that the Puyallup people have lived on since the beginning. This right here is where we are in the world, our homeland.
We work on our ancestral lands. We raise our children who go to school on the land of the Puyallup people.
We acknowledge that the Medicine Creek Treaty was signed for the whites to take our land for the
Land was assigned to our people. The Caucasians said, "This is your land," and they took that land from us too. Our land was stolen from us. Treaties were broken.
But we are still here today.
Our people forage for food and materials, we pick berries, we canoe, we practice our traditional ways, and we speak Twilshuti.
Just as our ancestors did. We are finished.
This is the land acknowledgement statement that the Puyallup School District has made in collaboration with the Puyallup tribal people to recognize and honor our commitment to supporting the fact that we are in residence on their ancestral land. And this acknowledgement is spoken at many school events. It's something that's spoken before every assembly that we have and every Puyallup presentation that is for the greater audience, and it's something that we should honor and recognize as being an important acknowledgement of the fact that we now reside on the land that once belonged sovereignly to another group of people. As part of the Puyallup School District's commitment to partnering with our diverse communities, we acknowledge that we are on the traditional homelands of the Puyallup tribe. We recognize the Puyallup people have lived on and stewarded these lands since the time immemorial and continue to do so today. We gratefully honor and acknowledge that we are on traditional lands. That's really important, that we're honoring that and that we are filled with gratitude. Where they make their home and speak the Tsul'itseed language. And this is an example of this translated into their language. We'll recognize that there are some differences there. Some differences that maybe we're not comfortable reading because that's not our indigenous language, right? That's not the language that we are used to, right? So today, we are going to, our last word was indigenous, and we talked about some predictions for that. So what we are going to do today is we have a new word that we're going to introduce, but first we need to put up our final meaning for indigenous. All right. So our final meaning, some predictions that we had were that in the past you owned something like land. Another was you owned something in the past and someone else came along and put housing on your land. Another was culture that someone lives in and are from. Our final meaning of indigenous is the earliest inhabitants of a place that was colonized or inhabited, right, by another group of people. So some connections that we had with some of our predictions. Some of you said that, yeah, it had something to do with land or place. It talked about people. So the earliest inhabitants are the indigenous people of a land. Colonized means that some other group came in and inhabited or lived on that land as well. They weren't necessarily invited in. They came in and made that their home. So another group of people came to this land, and the indigenous people were uprooted and moved to reservations. So today, what we're going to be talking about, our new word, we're going to put it in a sentence. My apologies. Indigenous is our word. Think a moment to see if you can use that final meaning and put indigenous into a sentence. If there's anyone who would like to volunteer using indigenous in a sentence, let me know. Lindsay, would you like to use indigenous in a sentence? Here, I'm going to go ahead and give you microphones so we can honor your words. It'll take a minute.
when the Europeans colonized the United States, they uprooted the indigenous people and did some not necessarily legal things.
Okay. Who else would like to use indigenous in a sentence? Riley?
If you are indigenous, you are the first settlers of land.
Ooh, that's a good one. We're really honoring that. Nice. I'm going to take one more. Gunnar.
Our indigenous ancestors came before us.
Okay. All right. So we were able to use indigenous properly in a sentence. Nice job. Our new word that we're going to be learning today is a word that you may have heard a couple times during our previous lessons. And our word is stewardship. Everyone say stewardship. Stewardship. Whisper stewardship to your elbow. Stewardship. Say stewardship in a squeaky voice. Let's say stewardship like a robot. Right? So we know how many syllables are in stewardship. Yeah. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you very much. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have some think time about the word stewardship. We're going to look at it. Are there any prefixes or suffixes? What kinds of clues are there in the word stewardship? I'm gonna have you think about that word and think about whether or not you've heard that word before. We're going to take our poll and then we're going to make some predictions about it. How many of you have heard the word stewardship before? Raise your hand up, nonverbal communication, really clearly for me.
No.
Nope, just heard it before. Just heard the word before. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So we have 10 people who have heard the word before. How many people have not heard the word before? My numbers are not matching up here, my friends. Let's try this again. How many have heard the word stewardship before? Please raise your hand really tall so I can count you. Okay, that's, I think, a more accurate number. And then not heard, never heard the word before. Yeah, okay. There we go. All right, I love it when you non-verbally communicate to me in a way that I can actually pick up that communication. All right, so some predictions about stewardship, thinking about prefixes, suffixes, root words. The root word here would be steward. Thinking about what you might think that word means. So I'm going to give you about a 30-second think time, and then we're going to get in our 4-corner brainstorming circles. All right, before we get into our brainstorming circles, what are some of our norms? What do we do when we are in collaborative?
Mrs. Snowden.
Yes, Isla.
One at a time we talk and we don't let other people after talk.
Right, one voice speaking, right? What is another norm when we're in our collaborative consolidation of understanding circles?
I wanted to point something out. Someone didn't raise their hand.
That's okay.
The
There's 22 people in here, but only 21 people raised it.
I appreciate your fast math. Would you like to speak one of our norms for our collaborative consolidation circles? What's another norm? So one voice.
That's 22. That's 21.
Let's refocus on moving forward and focusing on the norms of our collaborative.
There's 22. 22. Okay. I'm 21. Wait, then why only 21?
We're going to honor only one voice at a time, and it's Miss Ellie's turn to have one voice. So what is another norm for our collaborative times?
Making sure you have your full attention on the speaker.
Absolutely. We are honoring everyone's voice. Nice job. So one person speaks and we're honoring everyone's voice. Okay, those are our main norms when we're in our collaborative circles. Can I have my number 4s at each group stand up? Number 4s, stand up. Yes, and we do have to take turns, yes. Okay, number 4s, you're going to be over in this corner today. Number 3s, please stand up. I love how you push your chair in. Number 3s are over here. Number 2s, please stand up. Take your place right over here. Right there in that corner.
Yeah, you were a 3. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. All right, number 1s, you're going to be right here. Okay, we're making predictions about the word stewardship. Yes. Okay, right now you're over here and you're having collaborative conversations about the word stewardship, honoring our norms.
Okay. Maybe something like kindness, like respecting, like manners. I think it means a tree to have a settlement on someone's land. Stewardship might mean like taking care of the land and making sure that the inhabitants aren't like deporting it or polluting it or anything like that.
Oh, I see that one group is all done.
Dude, that's the Joe. You have
I don't have an idea yet.
You just said you have an idea.
No, I did. I said I didn't.
Can you add on to anything that anyone else has said?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay, I love that you're thinking.
I'm the only one who ever really said anything. You said a donut. Whoever he even said a norm. Whoever he even said like a tiny bit of an idea. Gunner. It's not. And also gunner. It's not stewardship.
All right, I have 2 groups that are ready.
Okay. Put your thumbs down.
All
I
right.
think I got it. When people colonize another place, that's called tomorrow or Tuesday. And then
Okay, we're going to come back into our learning community. Come back to your table groups, please.
people don't use ships, you know that, right? I mean, they use ships, but it's not like other people don't use ships.
All right. Thank you. Number 3, Lutz. Who's number 3, Lutz? All right. Bogdan, what did your collaborative circle, or what did you think was a prediction for the word stewardship?
A prediction for the word stewardship me and Lindsay had was was that stewardship would mean like taking care of the land.
Okay.
In a way.
Nice. Bogdan, would it be okay if I cited Lindsay as well since it was a collaborative?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. All right. Let's see. I love how you honored the voice of another because it deepened your understanding. Number 2, cougars.
Wait,
Then you need to solve that problem. Okay, Lincoln. Go ahead and stand up.
What I thought is that stewardship, since I think steward kind of, in my guess, steward kind of sounds like stuff and the ship, so I thought it was like a stuffed ship.
Oh, okay.
Stewardship reminds me of a stuffed ship.
So I like how you looked at the parts of the word. You took the word ship, and steward was something that you connected with a ship, and it might be stuck. Okay. All right. I'm going to take one more prediction before we learn our TPR for that one. Number 1, Western.
we all thought sharing land with the other people.
Oh, okay. So you said sharing land with other people?
Yeah.
Or the other people?
Other.
With other people, okay. I love how we have some connections with our previous word, understanding that these words are all going to be connected. So today, our word stewardship, our TPR, as we do with our American Sign Language, ASL, we are going to do our letter P, okay? So both hands are making the letter P. Those people are going to be working together on the land, okay? So our verbiage is collectively taking good care of the land, stewardship. So that's what we're going to say. I'll say it first and then you'll try it out. Stewardship. Then you would say stewardship. Collectively taking good care of the land, stewardship. Nice job. Okay, let's try it one more time. Stewardship. Collectively taking care of the land. Stewardship. Nice job. Okay, so that is our new word in our cognitive content dictionary. So we are going to be using that as our signal word to help us come back to focus and transition. We're going to be engaging in some inquiry work. Inquiry work means that we're going to be exploring and discussing some questions. And I have, hoping that's going to catch up with us. I have a paper for you to brainstorm, because when we have any new information, it is very important that we have that opportunity to digest that information and brainstorm about it so that we can build our neural pathways in a more smooth manner, right? So our inquiry question, the big overarching question is, how did the environment influence the lifestyle of early Native Americans? So we have 4 inquiry questions that we're going to be exploring during this unit. And our first question, we're going to be working on the first 2. The first one is, how is our lifestyle dependent on the environment? And the second is, What was the environment like for early Northwest coastal Native Americans? Now, we may not know all the answers to this yet, right? We singularly may not have all the answers. And that's why we're going to brainstorm what we think these things are, and then we're going to form a collaborative consolidation of understanding circle. So we'll have the outer circle, inner circle, and we'll share ideas and connect with deeper learning from other people who might have other perspectives about it. So I'm going to go ahead and ask my teacher assistant to come help me pass out some of these papers. Please find the side that has these 2 questions on it. We are only brainstorming the first question. So please make sure that you're not writing anything on the second column. We're only doing work on the first column right now. So go ahead and get your pencil and an eraser. Remember, brainstorming doesn't need to be full sentences. You are gathering ideas to help support your ability to communicate more clearly.
Wait, which side?
The first 2 questions. So go ahead and make a connection with what those papers say. Miss Avery, where's a resource that you can find those first 2 questions? There you go. All right, does everyone have one? Oh, thank you for advocating for Yadira. Thank you, Kellen, for letting me know that you're ready to move forward. Now you'll notice that there are 4 questions, and right here, guess what? 4 questions, right? Our first one that we're going to brainstorm some responses. What do we think about when we think about how our lifestyle is dependent on the environment? So I'd like you to take about 2 minutes to write down some ideas. But we are going to be consolidating our understanding with our partners. So as we're doing it, we need to recognize that we're going to brainstorm and record your ideas on your information gathering paper to share in a collaborative consolidation of understanding circle. And then during the collaboration time, you will record any new ideas that you gather which deepen your initial understanding. So should we fill that whole column up? No, because we are going to be recording any new ideas that we have. So we do need to leave a little space on the bottom, because remember, our knowledge isn't finite. We can pull from the knowledge of others, and when we're collaborating, we get ideas that help to connect with ours and deepen our learning and help our neural pathways become more solidified. Okay? So we're going to take a 2-minute brainstorming session. Go ahead and write down your ideas about how our lifestyle is dependent on the environment. Kind of working. I'm going to do a modified fist to 5 because we can't have a full 5. Let's give a fist to 3. How much more time would you like for this brainstorming? Okay, I'm going to give about 2 more minutes. So break down that sentence and think about what those words mean. The way that you live connected to the place that you live. Okay? Mm-hmm. The way that you live connected to the place that you live. Would the way that you live be any different if you lived someplace else? Well, think about the things that are important in your life and think how those might be different if you lived someplace else. I'm seeing some really good responses. Some people are stuck, and that's why we have these collaborative opportunities. All right, go ahead and finish up on the sentence that you're currently on, or the thought that you're currently on, because remember, these aren't full sentences, they're ideas. I'm going to have the even-numbered people stand up. Everyone's going to need a clipboard because we are going to be recording our ideas. So take your pencil and your paper with you, grab a clipboard, and form a circle facing the inside of the room. So even numbers are going. Riley and Juniper, can you come over here so that you're in the circle? Logan, do you have a partner? Okay, there you go, love. All right. So the way that our collaborative consolidation of understanding circle is going to work this time is that one person is going to share their ideas and the other person is going to add anything to their brainstorming for that first question. If there's any new understanding that you might want to jot down that deepens your current understanding, go ahead and jot that down. And then we'll shift, and then the next group of people are going to have an opportunity to speak and be heard, and the other person is going to be able to gather information. So we are going to start with our even numbers. So the outside, you're going to be reporting first, and the odd numbers are going to be recording. Even numbers to report first. They're brainstorming about how our lifestyle is dependent on the environment.
Do you start?
Stewardship. Stewardship. Collectively taking good care of the land. Stewardship. Begin. In gratitude, so please thank the reporter if you got deeper understanding. Even numbers, you are going to shift one to the right, and this time odd numbers are going to get the opportunity to report. So even numbers shift one to the right, and this time odd numbers. All right, please go ahead and share.
Like, you can't power anything without the electricity that you use the natural resources to produce. You can't even breathe without the trees. I mean, water's a natural resource. If that's gone, you can't even survive.
Oh, I'm hearing a lull. Go ahead and finish up your reporting and recording. All right, even numbers, please end with gratitude and show your gratitude for the information that your partner showed you. And then even numbers, shift one to the right. Even numbers, shift one to the right, please. All right, this time even numbers are reporting, odd numbers are recording. Go ahead and begin reporting even numbers.
Our lifestyle is dependent on the environment.
also we need water to live.
Do you have anything that you could add to your understanding to deepen it? Oh, I like how you were citing someone else's information to share. That's how we share out information and deepen it and broaden it, right? Nice job.
Okay, I got it.
All right, finish up your reporting and recording. Odd numbers, please end in gratitude and thank the reporter. And go ahead and return to your seat. Everyone seated has the opportunity to report and to record some information to deepen your understanding. We are going to continue this inquiry. This is not a one and done inquiry. We are going to continue these inquiry questions, and the more we learn and understand, the more you're going to be able to add to your understanding of these 4 inquiry questions. So we're going to go ahead and shift to the next one, honoring the fact that we don't know everything yet, right? We are still building our understanding around Indigenous peoples and their stewardship of the land. And we are going to explore our next question. Our next inquiry question says, what was the environment like for early Northwest coastal Native Americans? Now, were any of us around during the time that they originally were here interacting with the environment without the effects of colonization? We weren't. So we are going to have to think about what the natural environment was like for them. Remember, your brainstorming does not need to be in full sentence form. I really appreciate that all of you are working to use your full sentence form. But remember, brainstorming is a recording of your ideas. They just need to be chunks of information so that you can have them on hand when it's your turn to report. I'm going to give you 3 minutes this time to go ahead and bullet point some ideas about what you think the environment was like for early Northwest coastal Native Americans. Stewardship. Collectively taking good care of the land. Stewardship. All right, we are going to form our circles again. I did put out I sourced some additional clipboards, and I also put some whiteboards out for just a writing surface for you. So if you didn't have one last time, go ahead and grab one. Even numbers on the outside. Odd numbers, you're going to find someone you have not collaborated with yet. Okay? So you are finding a new person to start off with. Everyone needs to be settled in 5, 4, even numbers on the outside, odd numbers on the inside, 3, 2, I see a big group here. Please spread yourself out. James is over here and needs someone as a partner.
Is odd on the outside? Is even on the outside or on?
Thank you, Logan, for solving that problem. Even's always on the outside, odd is on the inside. Right over there. Right over here. Thank you.
Wait, Lincoln needs a partner.
Oh.
Brandon,
Oh, or Brandon, go ahead and go to Weston. And Avery? It's okay, we're partnering up right now. We're solving that problem. Thank you. Okay. This time, odd number is going to report first. So even numbers should be recording, odd numbers reporting. All right, begin. Good information. All right. Even numbers, please end in gratitude for the odd numbers sharing with you. And then we are shifting 1 to the right. Even numbers, odd numbers, you're staying put. Even numbers, 1 to the right, please. Lindsay, thank you. Brandon, scoot please. I love that you're trying to gather all that information down. All right, again, inquiry question number 2. Even numbers, you are reporting, and odd numbers are recording. So even numbers,
You said that both. Okay, you're recording.
even numbers are reporting, odd numbers are recording. Begin. Nice. Good, good. Excellent. Were you able to deepen your understanding and gather some more information?
Yeah.
Excellent. Good, good. Did you end in gratitude?
Thanks. He said a lot.
Yeah,
A lot. There's a lot.
there is a lot. Was that all yours, or were you able to deepen your understanding from other people?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all yours, or? Okay, good, good, good. All right, looking for folks who are done with their collaborative consolidation of understanding. Nice job.
And last week was global warming. Global warming. Oh, I forgot about that.
All right, go ahead and unclip your paper, put your clipboards away, and return to your desk in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoa, maybe I needed to count slower. Collectively taking care of the land. Stewardship. Thank you. All right. Remember, the expectation is that when that signal word is said, you are saying it, doing the motion, repeating the phrase, and your eyes are up here. Thank you. We're going to do some share outs of some information. I'd like you to share information that you received that deepened your understanding. And if you were able, I saw a lot of people citing their sources, which is good. If you're able to credit the person who helped deepen your understanding, that would be great. All right, number 3 from UW.
I got this from. I got this.
Here, I'm going to give you a microphone, okay?
I got this from Kason, and he said he got it from someone else. But he said that there was not a lot of buildings back then.
Okay.
I got it from Kason, and he got it from someone else.
Excellent. So we had a double deep understanding. Nice job. Excellent. I love that you cited your source and gave credit where credit was due. How many of you, just show of hands, heard things that maybe you hadn't thought of before as we were sharing? And you went, I'm curious. That deepened my understanding. Good. Let's focus on inquiry question number 1. Number 2 from Evergreen. Who's number 2, Evergreen? What was something that you heard from someone else for inquiry question number 1?
We need air, we need color.
Thank you.
We need air, we need color to color things.
We need lumber to build houses.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. So our lifestyle is dependent upon the environment because we need the air in our environment and lumber to build our houses because we build our houses typically out of lumber, right? Let's see. Number 4. Woo, Evergreen, coming back to you. Number 4, Evergreen. There you go, Yadira. We're going to do question number 2. Inquiry question number 2. What is something that you learned from someone else? Okay, so what was the environment like for Northwest coastal Native Americans? Cold weather? Yeah. Maybe the weather is part of the environment, right? That might have been something that they experienced. Okay, inquiry question number 1. I'm going to go back a couple slides so we can have both of those inquiry questions up there. Inquiry question number 1, how is our lifestyle dependent on the environment? We're going to do number 2. Central Washington. Who's number 2 here?
Number 2.
Okay.
Oh, for that question and something about someone else?
Yep, from someone else. Something that you learned to deepen your understanding.
Like one of the things I was supposed to.
Inquiry question number 2.
Like something that I was supposed to record and I got from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I got from Bogdan, is that the environmental plants can produce medicine.
Oh, nice. And if there's any deeper understanding that you're hearing as people are sharing out, please feel free to record that. Remember, we are collectively building some great deep understanding. We're going to pop back to inquiry question number 1. We're going to do one more cycle before we wrap up today with some reflection. Inquiry question number 1. How is our lifestyle dependent on the environment? I'm going to do number 3. From Western. Who's number 3, Western? What was your deeper understanding as part of our collaboration?
Mason told me that plants make medicine.
Oh, that was kind of a common theme. We were getting some plants make medicine. Also, for inquiry question number 1, our lifestyle is influenced by our environment because sometimes we get medicine from plants also. Yeah. Okay, one more. And this will be for question number 2. What was the environment like for early Northwest coastal Native Americans? We're going to do number 1 from Lutz. Who's number 1, Lutz? Thank you, Mason. Okay. You are going to share a deeper understanding that you gained for question number 1.
That the environment can really help us, and it also has a lot of resources.
Ooh, nice word, resources, for sure. Do you remember who you got that information from? Do you recall? It's okay if you don't. Yeah. One thing that we might want to do, I noticed some people were just putting some initials. That was great. Citing sources and giving props to the people that help us. I like how I see some people adding to their list, deepening their understanding from our classroom collaborative conversation. Nice job. We're going to go ahead and file these in our accordion folder. Western, nice job. All right. So we are going to end today on some reflection, just like we end a lot of things with some reflection. We're going to do a reflection on learning. It is something that we commonly do, but today what we're going to be reflecting on instead of what we did As learners, we're going to name one thing that went well today about our collaborative consolidation of understanding activities. Those would be our 4 corners and our circle activity. You're also going to name one thing that could be improved in the future, right? That constant work of improvement. Stevie, will you help pass these out? Please write your name on the back of it. Thank you. Oh, I like how the lutes are quietly working to record their information. It's just whatever collaborative. You can just call it the circle, yeah. Okay, thank you. You're all done? Go ahead and hold it up. Did you write your name on the back? Okay. Did you write your name on the back? Please remember to write your name on the back. Thank you. Thank you. When you're done with your self-reflection, go ahead and sit for a moment and think about our learning. Think about how we have applied yesterday's understanding with today's new and deeper understanding of land acknowledgements, and also of how the environment is an important element in cultures and lifestyles.